I'm doing a live stream of a reaction to Bro Sanchez live stream. I've been listening to this cat for,
but
God,
it's hold firm to the fact
10
that
years?
this
5
universe
years?
is the only
Shit
physical
long
one.
time.
And that's when the
When he was talking
ancestors
about,
were disagreeing, saying there's no such
know,
thing as physicality. All of these universes are dreams, and that's where we get the
Ray
concept
stuff.
of life is
He's
but a dream
got
or but
more
a
into like
holographic
the
simulation.
holographic simulation reality, which is kind of cool.
That was a time where the
And,
dream worlds were taught to be
Tone
holographic
down the whole Ray
universe
stuff. But
surrounding the
that's,
physical
he's
plane.
still,
But what the scientists
he's
are
still
finding
very
out
much
now is
into
that
the Ray stuff, and I
99%
appreciate
of
the Ray
our
stuff.
universe is antimatter,
Gotta hear
and that's
all
their way of
opinions.
saying
Let's listen
holographic
to
matter.
Bro Sanchez.
That's
Hey,
their way
bro,
of saying
I'm
light.
gonna send you a message that I'm live
If
streaming live your live stream.
99% of our
Love you, man.
universe is antimatter, then they're admitting that our universe is just like the alternate ones surrounding us that they're calling holographic ones, holographic universes, shallow, hollow. Well, if only 1% of our whole universe is
Maya of the Maya of the Maya. It's all illusion, man. It's all of it is illusion. It's just the way it is.
That's their way of telling you you're in a holographic simulated universe.
You are.
The reason that you can connect these worlds together is with mirroring technology. So, for example, if I got a room over there with a blue light on, and I got a room across the hallway with a red light on, and I want the light of these two rooms to marry each other so the hallway can be purple. But the light that's inside of the blue room won't come out of the blue room. And the light inside of the red room won't come out either. So now I gotta create a situation to force the light from these two rooms and unify them into a merger. And we would do that with mirrors. We would bounce the light out of the red room with a mirror, right, into the hallway. And now we got a red beam of light beaming into the hallway because we've reflected it with our mirror. And then we're gonna do the same from the blue room with the blue beam. And this red and blue light will intersect in the hallway, creating this purple light. And within that purple light is what we call the new earth. And projecting the light out of both of these rooms is also projecting the human consciousness out of those rooms too. So let's say that those rooms are universes. As we introduce the mirror into those universes and project the light out of those rooms into the hallway, since the souls inside of those rooms are composed of the light within it, they will be bounced out to, or what we call beamed out.
The Bomb Mom 3C salute.
So now what I want to do is I want to introduce you to a way of looking at something that I've showed you before, and that's this image. Now when you look at the spaceship projecting the light, I want you to think of a mirror reflecting some light. And you'll understand the concept that I'm about to teach you today about deliverance.
Mirror magic is my thing, man. Mirror magic is my thing, Bro Sanchez. Anyways, I'm either the loneliest fuck in the world, and I'm just tripping, or...
And a good way to go about this is let's take this one here. Right, let's go ahead and show.
And I like this cat.
How we're gonna get that light
going there
out of one room.
Oh yeah, mirror stuff. Yeah.
To another.
Check that out.
And this don't have to be with a flashlight, which is why I'm not gonna show the picture with the flashlight. I'm just gonna show the one with the mirror.
I gotta tell you something, man. I love your streams, but as soon as
Hold
Vox
on.
Machina comes on, I'm
Let
doing
me go
another
ahead and
stream
grab this
for
thing
Vox
real
Machina.
quick. Good. Or will it open or not?
It's kind of cool.
All right. Okay, here we go.
Now, I'm not hungry, but I need some oral gratification. I made some marijuana tea. I may want to
So this is what I'm talking about, guys.
have some. Yeah, I got some.
Polaris is a mirror that's doing just what I said. It's angled at a way to reflect, to bounce
Mirrors.
the light of the sun and moon and distribute it evenly to the earth. I'll show you what I'm talking about real quick with the whole cosmology. So check it out, guys. I'm gonna now check this out. This little sky vault that you see right here, it's a portal that can lead in and out of the earth. But what kind of portal exactly is it? I'm gonna show you.
We're doing all types of portals here, brother.
This is what it is. This little hole right here in the sky called Polaris or the sky vault, it got a door or a film over it that you bust through when you go in that hole. It ain't just an empty hollow hole. What I'm telling you is why Polaris is so bright is because it's reflecting the light of the sun and moon down to the earth like this. But it's not a glass mirror, it's a ethereal reflector like this Stargate. And this is the waters above reflecting all the light of it. See, we're in a dome, right? So all the light gonna build up at this point in the dome right here. All the light gonna be magnetically drawn toward the middle of the dome. And what happens is the light of our hologram is coming from the ground. Let me show you something. The light of this holographic universe is actually coming from the table or the ground up. You see? But when all that light start to fill up this bubble, it gets very concentrated in the middle of this dome right here. It start to reach a point like a pyramid, and it's getting denser and denser. As the light expands, it's like a pizza dough being stretched out. It's getting diluted. But the light, as we travel more and more up into the heavens, it gets brighter and brighter and denser and denser. So the closer you get to Polaris, it's getting like the light of heaven. It's like this bright light that you can barely see anything around you, but you're immersed in this sort of white auric light. And that's the light we see like when we're close to death, when our soul is ascending and shit. That's because we're entering this Stargate, and the light that we see is reflecting off of the waters of this sky vault. This is a Stargate, this circle here in the sky. It looks just like this. But you see how the waters is reflecting the light from the room that is in, and all that light is concentrated where? In the middle of this mirror. And that's like magnetism. That's the secrets of mirroring light. See where the light is reflected and bounced at? So when you shine that light at this mirror, it's the part in the middle that's gonna bounce that light outward in a 90-degree angle. And another way you could think about this is this right here. It's not complicated. We all jumped on a trampoline And everybody know if you really want to jump high, you need to jump in the middle
jump.
of the trampoline. Give me a second, guys, to get the right slide. And I'm gonna show you something that it's gonna be very interesting. You're gonna learn some good stuff today, right? All right, this will do.
I need a good computer and.
Actually, you know what I'm doing wrong? I actually brought my own. Give me 1 second. This will be worth the wait. Give me 1 second.
Take your time, brother. I'm doing other shit too, you know.
And
I'm gonna call my dad tonight.
what we're gonna introduce on the
Thursday
slides,
nights.
right? Hold on.
So I gotta remember to.
Coming right up here in a second, guys. Give me 1
shit.
second. You never know what
My
slides you're gonna need till you get into this
hard
thing.
drive. Because, you know, hard drive.
But I know for a fact we're gonna need this one. And I want to teach you about light. This is what they're teaching you about gravity. Okay, gravity. And hold on, as far as gravity go too. So check this out, guys. Gravity ain't got nothing to do with this theoretical force they telling you about. It's got something to do with the way light is projected within this holographic universe. All right, and that's what we're gonna get on density or weight, what they're calling gravity, push and pull, sink and float force. But I'm showing you that right now.
Duplicate files.
What the ripple effect teaches us is not only the repelling force, which is what the word ripple means, repel. It means to float, to ascend. But by sinking though, like pulling back an arrow in a bow and arrow so that it can fly. The act of pulling back the arrow so that the energy that you harness from pulling it back will actually push it forward is no different than you bouncing down on a trampoline so that you can be catapulted up into the sky.
Cable.
So when you look at images like this, I want you to think about this stuff right here with the ball. If I put a ball on a trampoline, magnetically it will levitate to the middle of the trampoline naturally where it was settled. They said that this is gravity, but the ancestors said that this right here is simply reflection.
Gravity
and now you're going to understand why the ancestors didn't have a concept of gravity when they taught about the holographic universe. What I'm saying is that the way that this light is bouncing and being able to, the light is using this mirror like a trampoline. It's almost as if light is intelligent and light behaves just like you would given a trampoline. That's what we're saying. The ancestors said all light is conscious of itself as light.
All things, not just light, darkness too.
We can't create light. We can emit light with apparatuses and devices such as flashlights, but we're not creating light. No different than you're not creating water when you cut the hose pipe on. You're shooting water with technology. You're tapping into water, which is where we get the word tap water. Tap water. Man don't create energy, he tap into it with technology. And tapping into energy is another way of saying harnessing energy. Energy is light. So electricity in a wire is flowing light, plasma. And to understand, like, capturing light is no different than capturing a fish. And you got to lure the fish because you're saying, hey, this fish is intelligent. This fish is conscious. And if I want to catch this fish and harness this fish so I can make a fish farm, I got to outsmart this fish. Because the fish got a mind. It has a mind. Now, the reason I'm saying that is because man's journey to capture light was the same way of a fisherman trying to catch a fish. He had to find the right technology to outsmart the light, because the light was eluding him with all of his technological attempts. The light said, aha, nope, can't catch me. I can imagine that's how the fish felt when our earliest ancestors were spearfishing. I can imagine that they probably missed a lot of fish and the fish was saying, try again. But when man came with the net, oh, those fish got scared. When man invented the net, then the fish got scared, and not only that, the fish disappeared from the ocean. There's more plastic now in the ocean than fish. The fishermen are bringing their nets up, and it's got more trash in it than fish. So guess what happened now? They ain't telling y'all about this. All of your fishermen ships are making more money cleaning up the ocean than catching fish. I can't make this up, y'all. The fishing industry have turned into non-profit organizations using their goddamn ships to clean up the ocean because there's more trash than fish now. Nature forcing us to clean the mess up. Ain't that some shit? She always win in the end.
She does. She does that.
Why am I saying that? When fishermen invented the net, the ocean went through a great reset. Because we fished so much for generations that you can say we killed all the fish in the ocean damn near. And a few that's left behind are paws in terraform, swimming through trash full of toxics, mutated. You can say that the oceans of the world have already experienced a reset. And you can't deny what I'm saying. You must ain't had your eyes open. All of them fish and whales that been washing up on the beaches and shit all over the world, the ocean already been going through its great reset, buddy. Now it's our time. Now check out what I'm saying over what the fish went through in the ocean. What caused the fish great reset was the creation of the net. And what's gonna cause humanity great reset?
Different type of net. Damn computer.
The creation of the net. Oh yeah, the internet. The same technology they used to reset the oceans and capture all the fish that was out. They're gonna use that same technology to outsmart our souls, the light within us, and pull one over on us. And with the net, they're gonna capture the light. And the images that you're looking at on the screen shows you the sacred geometry of how that technology looks. Now, I'm gonna break this down to you. This whole
Break it down,
little
bro.
net that you see surrounding the earth right there, they're calling that gravity. And they say that gravity is invisible, but you can see the effects of it. Being why? Because we see the earth as a ball in this location. Some pulling it there. Truth is, we don't see the earth as a ball, and we're on a flat plane. And I'm going to show you something about this flat earth real quick. It's the truth is that where they got the globe earth at on this picture is where the North Pole should be. And the net going out from that are all of the earth planes, and I'm going to show you that now. Look, in the middle of this ring map, sorry about the blur. Actually, we're not gonna fucking do the blur, man.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit.
Yeah, let's do that. Show you something real quick. In the middle of this flat earth, there's a ball or a rock. They say, they call it the stone that the builders rejected. It has become today known as the Ben stone. You see it? It's the missing capstone. It was to worship the portal at the middle of the earth. This capstone is what Mercator has right here. It's called Mount Meru or Rufus Niagara. And they said Jesus was on that mountain. And you will see the Pharaoh etched on this stone because he was the personification of Christ on earth on Calvary, which this would be another form of Christ on Calvary. The whole concept of the bird landing on Calvary and all that, you can see it here. But now, what I wanted to point out was, as you can see right here, this is Hindu cosmology showing you at the middle of our earth, there's this giant ball of energy. And what the ancestors say is all of creation is born from that ball of energy. And that became known as the God ball. Before we had any other men, women, gods, goddesses, God was just a ball. God was a disco ball, just like you see here. And that ball was reflecting all of creation outward from it. And they will show you this with the Big Bang Theory. That all of creation exploding from this little ball of energy right here at the middle of the universe. You see it right here. So that's their version of this little ball at the North Pole, where all the energy coming from, where the ripple effect is being created. You see what I'm saying? So let's go forward. So what we're looking at is false, y'all. The earth is actually the ripple effect that you see in the background. And that's why I keep pulling up this image. We're living in the, what NASA and all of them are calling the universe, we already live in the universe, not on the earth. There's no such thing as an earth ball. When you go back and pull up ancient cosmology, it'll tell you this. Let me show you something, so you can pay attention to something real quick. You need to read real quick. Reading, we gotta do that. Check it out. What did this say right here? Ancient Hebrew conception of the what? I'll wait. Ancient Hebrew conception of the what? Show me where it say earth at. Show me where it say ancient Hebrew conception of the globe. Man, the ancient Hebrew said that we're in the universe. The ancient Hebrew said you're a universal being. The ancient Hebrew didn't believe that they lived on an earth ball. The ancient Hebrew believed that they lived inside of a universe. So whenever I show you these cosmologies around the ancient world, it's not flat earth. It's ball universe. I can't stand these globalists, man. They don't want to understand this shit. This is not flat earth. It's round the universe. Because in case you hadn't noticed, NASA gave your ass a flat universe.
Stupid.
And you think I'm lying about that? Let me show you something. The galaxy is flat. Everything in macro is flat. The lie only exists in micro, on a micro level with the globe. But when you zoom out, they giving you flat earth though. Because look at the Milky Way. That's showing you the 6-9 logo, 6-9 symbol at the middle of our holographic earth. This doesn't look physical to me. It looks like a holographic simulation. Look at this and look at this. You're already living inside of the flat simulated universe, and it's 2-dimensional. You perceiving it as 3-dimensional because it's so, you're within a little sliver called, within this little slit, this is your little ceiling. And within this little 2-dimensional slit, we experience 3 dimensions, 3-dimensional space within it. But from a macro cosmic level, it's just a sheet of paper. It ain't 3D. But the consciousness that live inside of the sheet of paper experience 3 dimensions within 2D, within a 2-dimensional space. It's that simple. That when you zoom out, our reality turns into a 2-dimensional. Like flying in an airplane and looking down and everything looks flat. You can't make out any mountains. You can't make out any cuts in the ground or trees. Nope, it's just flat. Reality, and the higher you go, the more Earth will flatten. It just, you will see that you live inside of a little.
Why are you crashing on me, bro, Sanchez? Look at that. You crashing on me. Don't be crashing on me. I bought 4,000 pesos worth of shit from Barniki, and we didn't sell a damn thing. So I have pipes. That's what's left. We consumed everything. Well, I didn't. I did. That's what's left of the 4,000 pesos of stuff that I bought from Mickey with Krishnadasi. What's going on here? Ew. 4,000 pesos, man.
Sliver. No, it's like our little dimension is like the thin as a CD disc on a macro level. All right. And I can show you how thin it is actually. How you count this dimension is this. You see where the bottom of the clouds get flat at? That's where the ceiling starts. And then the ground you're walking on is the floor. That's only about that thin. Where we live at is not that thick. It's just, if you really think about it on a macro level, our little pocket where we live at, between the bottom of the
Roberto
clouds, where the
Chan,
clouds get flat to the
bienvenido al
ground,
show.
that's like a
Estoy
sheet of
escuchando
paper
a
thin.
Bro Sanchez
That's damn near 2D.
haciendo un tipo de...
Like, really, 3 dimensions is an illusion, bro.
Bro Sanchez.
Really, our whole world is a stripped-in
Reaction video.
holographic
Me gusta lo que
simulation.
dice, cuate. Está
Like
bien
a
pinche
CD
inspirado, pero
disc
pues igual
being
yo
burnt,
también.
like they showing you with the Milky Way galaxy. But when you get inside of that galaxy, the 2D becomes 3D because you're shrinking. Now let me see if I can. So we're just giving you the secrets of cosmology. We're going to talk about deliverance here as well. We're doing a couple of things here. Let me open the door real quick.
Open the door, Bro Sanchez. Mira lo que quedó de la tienda que íbamos a hacer con raza. Unas cuantas pipas, unas cuantas sábanas. Un buenos regalos.
Hey guys,
Voy a hacer una tienda, fíjate. Yeah.
what you got to realize with what I'm showing now is gravity represents the grave or death or Adam and Eve being casted out of the garden. Now the garden is called Mount Meru. Adam and Eve being casted out of the garden is another way of saying Adam and Eve being repelled away from the garden due to what's something called a repelling effect or a rippling effect. Consciousness started at the center of creation and expanded outward. All right? Just like the tree busting out of a seed shell and expanding, all of the life expanding around the seed, being roots, branches, and all that. But the way that the seed beamed its consciousness above the ground is with transformation and beaming technology, just like the arrow and the bow and arrow. That little line you see is the trunk of the tree. This is the knowledge of the universe, y'all. Hear me out. When you throw a seed down into the ground, it's like pulling this arrow back. Now you just drop the bomb on the ground and it's slowly gonna explode over time into a tree. So you putting that seed in the ground, you planted a bomb. And if you look at a bomb explosion and a tree, they look the same. An explosion is what you're doing. Every tree that you plant is matter exploding, right? And the reason I'm teaching y'all is because this is what I'm teaching you about deliverance. This is how consciousness is delivered onto the earth. And this is why they tell you that the original humans wore afros and shit. But let me show you what the original man is. It ain't even the body. It ain't even black or white people. Watch this. The man with the afro going around his head is this dude. Today they try to say Africans were first, the afro, the man. This is what they say to hide the truth today. They say the black man who wore the afro was first, right? They say the black man with the afro was first. And all of the black men grow afros and it become a pride movement. And everybody look at a nigga like this, right? And they say, yeah, man, that's God right there, the black man. And don't cut your hair like Samson, black man. Let it grow out because we Africans, right? And they'll say that the black man with the afro is the true image of God. Actually, what they're hiding is this. The black man with the afro, you see it? The body, right? The body is only 1% of all the matter in the universe. They said that your body is composed of matter.
body's
But
1%
they
of the
say matter
universe.
only make up
It's a very
1% of
important
all
1%. I mean, it's a
the substance
really
of the
important
universe.
example.
So
You know?
your body don't really exist for real.
But you said it was
Your
1%,
body don't
so
really
it
exist for
does.
real. And that's
It
why
does
whenever
and
you
it
pull up
doesn't.
pictures like this, it got the body blacked out, because what we focusing on is the aura, which is the real self, the mind, the soul. This is why Samson shouldn't cut his hair.
All right, bro.
Because
You
when
have to
Samson
separate
cut
soul
his
from
hair,
mind.
that's the soul
Soul
going
and mind
into
are not
neuralism.
the same thing.
This
Mind is
afro
one thing,
around the
soul is
body
the
is
other.
the aura. If you take
Titties
the
are
F
one
off the
thing,
afro, you
there
get
it is.
arrow, because it's the arrow that's creating the bubble, which is why I keep showing you this image right here. No arrow, no afro. Without that arrow right there, that bow and arrow won't be stretched outward like that. So the body is an arrow inside of a bow called the aura. And this bow that's around the body is launching
I like
the
his,
consciousness out of the body
visual stuff.
by holding the body down to the earth. And it's creating this feeling within the mind of wanting to get out of the body. And that feeling that we have inside of us, that we can fly but some holding us back, is literally God revving your engine up, revving your energy up, reversing, pulling it back, so that when he lets you go, you can go far. The experience of life is the fuel that will deliver the soul. And that's why we're talking about deliverance today. I'm showing you the technology about what nature uses to deliver consciousness, and she do it by wrapping that consciousness up in an experience called life. The body represents that experience, and you can see that is indeed wrapped up in the mind. The mind is wrapping up the body. When the mind is through with the body, it'll throw it away like a used rubber, and the body will decompose, because what it took from the body was an experience, and the mind could not experience this reality without doing it through the body. No difference than an astronaut can experience a moonwalk without an astronaut suit on. When the astronaut go back to Earth, it throw that damn suit off somewhere, and it remembers the experience that it had on the moon, but it didn't have that experience in flesh. It had it in the suit. But the experience permeated the suit and was recorded in the mind, the one that put the suit on, called the body. We're exploring the heavens, guys. We're the original astronauts. And the suit that we built, which was an all-white suit with this little big old bulky helmet that you see the astronauts with, I'm gonna show you that astronaut suit that we built. Here we go. That's why Jesus was able to travel to heavens. Because when we leave the body, our consciousness turns into a sperm or a nagini, a serpent, a winged serpent, which is what the sperm is. And this what allows the consciousness to transport itself in and out of these different realities. And once it get inside of the egg and cross over, it can now blow itself up and pump itself back up again, which is what we call the body. This earth is so small that in order for all of us to get inside of this thing, we had to be a sperm cell. We're in a snow globe, y'all. And the black man with the afro ain't God. man with the afro is God. And I'm showing you the images. They said that the black man in Africa with the afro is God. They rather give you that than the truth. And what'll happen, they'll have black men arguing for them. Because black man is like, yeah, nigga, we God, nigga. And niggas is growing afros and shit. And it turns into a shallow pride service movement of a few group of men saying, yeah, we the gods of the earth. A bunch of niggas with afros, and that's it. And ain't nobody figuring out their souls and their spirit, because it's just turned into, yeah, the black man is God. But this is the black man. The blank man is the body. It don't really exist. It's an illusion of the soul projected inward into the universe or universe. The word universe, you should take the doggone Y off it. It's the universe, and the universe is the universe. So it exists inside of us. All right. In ancient Egyptian, they teach that when the soul leaves the earth, it continues in this same it keeps running this simulation. It runs it better. Have you ever dreamed before? And it's you and it's the same earth and all that, but it was a better situation in a dream, and you woke up here and had to go to work and shit in this particular reality, and you like, damn, I liked it, the dream reality. Like I had it going on in that world. I had kind of made better choices and shit. Your consciousness got to crawl for it, walk, and it got to experience reality in your lower versions before it can experience it in your higher versions that already made all the right choices in life. Everybody make mistakes only in this particular dimension. The more that we incarnate into this simulation, it's like we are actors rehearsing a movie, and it's the same movie script, but the more we act it out, the better we get at it, to the point where we don't gotta repeat it that much. We're repeating this shit because we're dying with regrets. We're dying saying, when our life flashed back before us, when you die, you're gonna be your own judge. Your life gonna flash before your eyes. And if any point you be like, yo, I made a bad choice right there, I shouldn't have did that. That's gonna allow in your next incarnation, it's gonna be this same life, your same mama, same all that, like in a dream. But a lot of the mistakes that you made in this life, they won't exist in the next one. And as we incarnate more and more, the mistakes will get less and less, and we will have less and less regrets, until we reach the last life to where we only made one mistake in that world. Our life had, imagine that, a world where your life was perfect. You just had one mistake in it. And at the end of that, your life flashed by that one mistake.
One mistake, all we make.
It's the only thing you're gonna say, I shouldn't have did. And that last mistake that's gonna be left is when God fell into the body.
In a perfect world,
the consciousness is God having a human experience and a human journey back to remembering and understanding how he failed as an individual God called Sanchez. Everybody's journey starts with a different life experience for God, but everyone's journey leads back at the same place, which is God saying, it started with me falling out of Eden. It started with me clothing my infinite power in a finite body. So God will understand at the end of his journey that it started with God creating the technology that allowed consciousness to be delivered. because after Adam and Eve, souls on earth had to be delivered through childbirth. But before that, they were just created on the potter's wheel, which is what we're going back to now. And I'll show you what that is now.
Deliverance is what we're looking for.
So they got 3D printers that's already printing human body parts. They said by the year 2100, 3D printers will literally be printing human bodies. And after the body done printing, they can transfer your consciousness from one of these bodies to the other. People, our ancestors weren't given birth in the old world. This is the story of the Garden of Eden, and we're actually going back to that now. You want to know why Adam and Eve was made by the hands of God on the potter's wheel? Here it is right here. It's the petri dish. Humans were being grown when we first existed. And I know this sounds crazy, but this is a whole thing about the lotus flower. We're in a holographic universe and everything grows like photosynthesis. So you see humans being grown from flowers. And this is the technology that we're going. Hold on, everybody. Drop a 1 if you can. We need to do a tech check. Something has happened. Drop a 1 if you can see me and hear me. Drop a 1 in the chat room. We had a little glitch there, but I don't think it's much. Let's see. We're looking on y'all in. Drop. Are we still rolling? Drop a 1.
I got a 1 for you.
And look, when you see the human being grown on the flower, that's what they talking about, the tree of life. Like, we got to start listening, yo. Tree of life. And one more time, this is showing you that the first humans that existed on earth weren't born. They weren't born from a woman. They were holographic projections. Now the new earth that they're creating is the metaverse. And the humans that are going to be existing in the new earth are not going to be born out of women. See, what happens is the first humans that are projected into this new world that they're making are going to be virgin births, or what we call born from the Virgin Mary, which is the word marionettes, a marionettes, which is the puppet master. Born from Mary is born from marionettes, which is the puppet master. And the one that's pulling all the strings is doing it on a holographic level. You see it here? These rays of light are the strings controlling the puppet. And so the first humans were said to be made from the hands of God, and they were said to be casted down onto the earth when we read about Adam. And look at these pictures here, casting down a puppet onto a stage, and the puppet is projected from the Virgin Mary, or which is the marionettes, or the hands of God. This virgin birth is dealing with a vagina that's made out of light. Everybody know that a vagina shapes like a triangle. This particular vagina it don't need a man to nut in it. It's a virgin birth. In other words, your soul was virgin born, but your body wasn't. You were conceived before you were born. And conception represents your lotus flower unfolded. And when the doctors saw your pod open up, they saw that your consciousness were about to be delivered in 9 months inside of a body in a fetus bag. The first thing that the doctor saw was these light rays unfolding in the bag, and he says she's conceived. We didn't see a body yet, but the doctor saw these light rays unfolding, and he knew that a body will grow from that flower like this. Look at a sonogram. When they first look at this thing, ain't nothing in there. It's just jet black. But over time, a body just start to fade into creation.
Starts
out of nowhere, right?
Thing.
It's coming from somewhere. That's what I'm showing you. This fetal bag is a black hole. Light can't escape a black hole.
Makes sense.
So the light of a new consciousness landed in this black hole right here, y'all.
I'm going to pause this because
this is why the ancestors worship the bee goddess. Grow just like bee lives, but we don't see ourselves in nature no more. Let me show you something about deliverance. This is how nature delivers the soul. This is how nature packages it up. Humans stop looking at nature and we stop seeing that we're just like everything else in nature. Look at the bee larva. Look at you.
Beautiful.
Ask yourself this. How did the larva get inside of that hole?
Well, the papa bee and the mama bee went out bee hunting.
See, the pregnant mama drops her load in that little empty hole. And when she dropped her load in that hole, it ain't nothing but water, man. But over time, that water started gelling up and coagulating and becoming a larva. And that's how you were made.
Solvent coagula, brother. Solvent
inside of that black hole was nothing but water. But who put that water there?
Well, I believe there was a papa bee
involved. This is the waters above from heaven.
At some point.
That's what I'm telling you. These are the waters that connect the earth and the heaven. And I'll go back and I'll show you something real quick.
Goes back to
see, look,
when
your soul was a traveling soul,
really all of it,
swimming the waters above, and then your soul saw a bubble in the ocean, and that bubble that your soul saw was this whole universe that you in now. Your soul went inside of that bubble to get rest, because it was swimming in the ocean. That's why Jonah went in the whale or the bubble. Think of your soul as a fish in the ocean, and it's making a journey, but it got to rest though. And it rests by going inside of a bubble, or a crab going inside of a shell. And this the bubble that your soul went into, and that became this life right here. But your bubble gonna bust. Now let me show you something about this water and how where this water come from that flooded this feeder bag. The water that's inside of this feeder bag, it comes from right here. Let me show you.
You can see the
right here.
The TV screen.
The water that's inside of your mama feeder's bag, that bag didn't fill up with water because somebody pumped her belly with a hose pipe. How did that bag fill up with water in your mama belly? Where did that water come from? That's the waters above. The waters that fill up the mama feeder bag are coming from above the firmament. And what I mean by that is this continuum that's connecting all actions in micro and macro, the spiritual world with the so-called physical. Because guess what happens? When the mama when she get pregnant or whatever, she get thirstier. She drink more fluids. And that's the waters above. Because to the baby that's trying to be born or conceived in the earth, the doctor would tell the mama, hey, you need to drink a lot of water. She basically filling up her own fetal bag. And this is what the goddess, the god Aquarius, the goddess Aquarius, when the woman getting ready to have a baby, she drink more fluids. And that's like, if the baby is down here and the woman's mouth is up here drinking the water, then the waters above are filling up the waters below, is where our ocean come from down here. So this vault at the top is like the mama mouth, filling up the Aquarius, pouring the water in. And that water allows for growth, just like a plant. So once the soil is saturated, then the baby, like a seed, can grow out of this dark soil. The seed that's planted in there is the consciousness that we call the sperm. When the sperm crossed over into this egg, that was the soul dropping down this chimney, Santa Claus or what they call it, going down this chimney. Now when the soul fell into this dimension, it wrapped itself up inside of the elements that this dimension is made of: earth, water, wind, and fire.
It was a good group.
Are made of light. We're in a holographic universe.
Earth,
and light can't
wind,
escape a black hole. But you are a black hole. And you landed inside of this fetal bag, and all the light from the outside world start to be
that's why we have a mouth and a
pulled around
black hole, everything.
You, which is a black hole, and that's what created your avatar. The light being pulled around you, just like this right here, man. Look at this. This triangle of light that's projecting your avatar.
Okay, at the beginning, it's the mouth and the mouth
is what we're calling the anus. Aura.
The first ones that appear. Eyes appear later.
The fact that
here
the baby is still surrounded by them waters. It's a fractal code. So if you look at the baby surrounded by these waters, see, these waters are acting like a reflective sort of medium for the light of the outside world to cross into this inside cave. The baby being formed in this dark cave is what they call Batman, because the baby wrapped himself up like a bat. If you ever saw a bat wrapped with his wings, when they said Batman lives in a cave, but they also tell you our ancestors are cavemen. And this is telling you that our ancestors were the people that invented these holographic avatars. This is called Batman. And the symbol of Batman is a projection light, the bat beacon. And the bat beacon is what I'm showing you right here. You know how Batman got the little light and it's got the bat symbol going onto the earth and shit? That's you, but the whole symbol is a projection living in a cave. It's because we can't escape this cave. Is what right? We can't escape it. Every time we leave one, we go into another one. You know how Batman got the little light and it got the so when the baby leaves this particular, like this whole fetal bag is the baby's first Taurus field. When I told you that what consciousness got to break through all these chakra layers, your first chakra layer, you came here with 8 chakra layers. How you get 7 chakra layers right now, because your birth, you broke through one of them. this fetal back, you living inside, your mama was your first chakra layer. All right? She was the first auric layer that surrounded your avatar. And so your emotional state was dictated by her emotional state, because she was a barrier in between you and your 7 chakras when you was a baby. So as a baby, you didn't have no emotions. You shared your mother's emotions. So if your mama was sad, you were sad, but you didn't know why though. You didn't know why. You just know this was a feeling that came every now and then from above. And every time the mama got sad, happy, and all that, to the baby, it played like seasons. The baby just knew when this sad period come, that's like winter time. Or when mama happy, oh, that's summertime. It's lit up now. Mama lighting up. The baby can experience the emotions of the mama like 4 seasons within its little macrocosmic universe. And the 4 seasons that we experience on the earth are literally the 4 different mood swings that our Mother Earth, these 4 corners that it switches its energy through, it cycles its energy through these 4 different phases or phases. It's an emotional state that the earth is going through. And so these seasons even dictate our emotional state, as well as the heavens and the stars above. Why do the sky and the dome and the firmament, why does that take humans' emotions? So much so that we built something called astrology to let us know how to control our emotions during certain star alignments and stuff. Also telling people what kind of emotional person they are based upon the astrological alignment when they was born. That's real shit, man. Salutes to Dolo the pilot, man. That's my nigga right there. When y'all want to learn astrology and all that shit, go subscribe to Flights, baby. Dolo the pilot, man. Let's drop a bomb. Me and him collab before. It's about time.
Babaloo. Babaloo boo 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 boo. Babaloo boo 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 boo.
We collab again. But check this out though. Yo, astrology is real, man. And astrology is the same way when you was a baby, right? The baby was preparing for certain mood swings that was inevitable because it had peaked the emotional patterns of the mama. So that baby knows, okay, it's about to be winter time again. Because it lives inside of the mama, it's connected to the mama. It has created a pattern out of her emotional state. And that would be like summer, winter, fall, spring. Mama mama bouncing her energy through these
Connected
four
baby.
different emotional states. And the baby would sum it up like how we sum up seasons on the earth,
I'm gonna go to the
which is
store.
proven that we never
Love you
can
guys.
escape this concept of being a baby inside of the dome, which is what Gab